Riverside.
Happy New Year's. Welcome into the Young Dad Podcast. Shout out to the live studio audience. Shout out to the live studio band. I'm Jay, and joining me in 2023 once again, just like he was in 2022, is Aaron. Greet the people if you would, please.
How we doing, people? Welcome to 2023.
It's great to be in another year, new me, or maybe same me, but same show for the people. Brother of mine, can you believe it's 2023? I still can't get over it. I've messed up to date on almost everything I've written the last 3 days. It's been
No, I
fun.
feel you, man. Yeah, I feel you. We're transitioning, but it's gonna be a great year.
It's going to be a fantastic year. It's going to be a fantastic year here with the Young Dad Podcast. We got a fun show for you guys today. But before we get into the show today, I wanted to read a couple of reviews off of Apple Podcasts. If you didn't know, we are on Apple Podcasts now. You just have to search Young Dad Podcast, and we're right there. So we are truly wherever you get your podcast now. This one is from Rusty Langley 7416. Your podcast is very helpful. I'm learning a lot. Smiley face emoji. God bless you. 2 exclamation points and a heart. The next one is from Wayne Hissy 32. The podcast provided me with wisdom drops that changed my life for the better. Heart emoji, smiley face. I love seeing reviews like this. They make it just so amazing for us, and we love it.
As long as we get one, man. As long as we change somebody or help somebody, one person, it makes this podcast worth it.
That's all exactly where it's at. And while we're here at the top, we are recording this on Tuesday, January 3rd, the third day of the year. We just want to offer our thoughts and our prayers to the Hamlin family, the safety of the Buffalo Bills, who suffered that tragic accident on Monday Night Football. Thoughts to him, thoughts to T. Higgins, who was involved in the collision. Just thoughts and prayers for everyone involved, the organizations, the families, and everyone. We are sports guys, so it was only right that we said something about that. Just we love sports, we love football. On the show today, we have a very new year, new me episode where we're going to just dive into all things that the new year offers to each and every one of us. So sit down, grab a snack, grab a juice box, and let's talk. New year, new you, new water bottle. The coldest water bottles are fully in stock with new colors, new selections, and amazing options to hydrate you all year long. A 46-ounce wood finish tumbler is absolutely beautiful. I got one of these. I love it. My kids, I got them some of their newer colors, the 18 ounce. Since they're getting older, they're getting bigger. The 12 ounce just doesn't do them for it anymore. Now we're into the 18 ounces. We got the tie-dye one. They have the brand new blue reflections as of the beginning of the year. It is absolutely phenomenal. Head over to thecoldest.com when you get all the goodies into your cart for amazing hydration or custom dog bowls, pillows, blankets, whatever it is. Use the code BALLBOY10 at checkout. That's BALLBOY 10. Use that code at checkout. Again, that's BALLBOY 10 at checkout. Save yourself 10% and support your favorite podcast. Again, huge shout out to our live studio audience. 2023 is going to be even better because of you guys. While this episode was being created, I kept saying, or not saying, but kept seeing everywhere like what we're leaving behind in 22. You know, those really cliche, cheesy posts all over Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's like, oh, I'm leaving this behind in 2022 and this and that and that. And I'm like, you know, that would be a great place to start this first podcast of the new year. Something cheesy and cliche. So that's what we're going to do. Aaron, what are some of the things you are excited to leave behind in 2022?
Yeah, man. And last year there was a lot of generational curses that I broke. Cycles that were unhealthy that I broke. I decided to break. So I'm excited to leave those in the past and continue building a great family.
That's amazing. You know what? That's funny because I was actually talking to someone earlier this week and I had mentioned that to them and they're like, "Well, what if those like steel chains that you think you have around your ankles holding you back with all these, you know, cycles that aren't being broken, what if they're not actually that durable anymore? What if they're so rusted that all it takes is one average step to break them and to move forward?"
Yeah, man. All it really takes is you saying is it's enough. You know what I mean? All you saying I'm not gonna repeat it. I'm gonna break free. My kids will not suffer the same. Whatever cycle it is, could be anything. But it's just it starts with you. If you want it to change, you have to change it.
Exactly. And I just thought that's crazy that you brought that up, and I literally had that conversation with someone else this week because it's so true. I mean, if you want to break it and you want to stop it, then guess what? You break it, you stop it, you put the work in as a parent or as a partner, whether your family has a very long history of divorce and unhealthy relationships with one another. You be the one that breaks it, you be the one that changes it, you be the one that breaks those generational curses for your children and puts an end to it. I love that. For me, one of the things I'm leaving behind at 2022 is sweating the little things. Because you know, as well as anyone else, that I sometimes sweat the little things a little bit too much and I let them get to me. I let them bring me down. I've gotten a lot better at that, where, the little things don't bother me as much. I let a lot more things roll off the old shoulders and I just let it go because I can't control those things. And really, I'm just going to control what I actually can control and not really worry about those things that I can't. Because if I can't control them, I can't do anything about it anyway. So what's the point of me wasting my energy on it? So,
Yeah, exactly.
all right, what's another thing that you're leaving behind in 2022?
I'm gonna stop taking myself so seriously, man. I know it sounds funny, but I'm the type of guy like I'm so worried about what I put out, and I'm so careful about things that I do, but I found that that restricts me a lot. It makes me censor myself more than I would. So this year, it's all about being the most authentic me, letting it out, letting everyone know how I feel.
I love that. Yeah, it's definitely important to really just be yourself, be authentic. Because people, especially now, we all have a pretty good BS meter of other people. There are some people who play the system really well, but I would say most people have a pretty good idea when someone's full of crap and it's really easy to see. But people more so respect when you're honest, you're straightforward, you're authentic, and they know what to expect from you on any given day. They know it's going to be consistent. And I think that's super important, especially, the both the jobs and careers that we've had and the roles that we do. That authenticity is important, and especially at home with our families, that's crazy important to be that authentic with our kids so that they can see the real us, so they know that it's okay for them to be the real them 100% of the time.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot more to do with just letting the guard down. You don't have to always be on guard, or you're allowed to be vulnerable. So that's one thing I'm guilty of. So it's got to
Yeah,
change.
and that's a huge lesson, especially for your kids to see. It's like, oh, dad's vulnerable, I can be vulnerable with him. I can be vulnerable with mom because he's being vulnerable with mom. So dad trusts mom, mom trusts dad, I trust them. And it just creates a very healthy cycle there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree.
All right. My second one here is, and this one I am so guilty of. It's awful. I do it to myself all the time. I finally stopped doing it toward the end of this last year, but it was pushing myself artificial, made up deadlines. I do it so much where I'm like, oh, I got to get this done by this day at this time. And then that day and that time comes around, unless it actually has to be done then, I'm normally like, can it be done tomorrow? Granted, tomorrow's never guaranteed, knock on wood, of course, but knowing that tomorrow exists and that something can be done the next day has just been something crazy to me, especially since I started working a new job and stuff. And it's really just remembering, like, I tell myself this a lot throughout the day is that Rome wasn't built in a day. That old saying, like, Rome wasn't built in a day. And it's because it wasn't. You know, things take time, things take thought, they take process, they take articulation, and you can't just do it all super fast. I've learned that. I learned it the hard way in some aspects, learned it the easy way in other aspects, but that's probably my number two thing is I'm just going to stop pushing myself to meet those deadlines that don't really matter to anyone or anything. All right, you got one more for us?
I wasn't necessarily prepared for one, but yeah, I have one. I think more of what we were focused on this holiday season was reaching out to others and being a light during that time. I just think continuing that into 2023 and leaving behind the oh, I got to worry about myself, I got to worry about my stuff. It's just like we said, be vulnerable. Take a chance. Help somebody out. You could spark something that changes a life. Forever.
Yeah, exactly. Create that ripple. Be that pebble that gets thrown in and create that ripple because it's gonna have an impact somewhere down the line.
Yep.
All right. Well, any other thoughts on this? Anything else?
No, that should do it. Should wrap it up.
Alrighty. Well, we're gonna move into a quick break here, and we'll be right back talking about some New Year's resolutions. The new year brings new opportunities to better yourself, to create that healthy diet you want to create, but yet some diets they just seem so bland, they're boring, and they're not exciting. Well, what if I told you there was a seasoning, low sodium, zero MSG, no crap, no garbage, only all natural ingredients that is delicious and packed full of flavors that comes in four different options. Yes, I'm telling you about Dano's Seasoning. Head over to danoseasoning.com or available at your local Kroger in the original and spicy. You can find the everything bagel and the hot chipotle on the website as well. Head over to danoseasoning.com. When you got all the goodies in your basket, use the code BALLBOY at checkout to save yourself some money and to add some delicious flavor to everything you cook this year to help take your diet to the next level. And we are back. Hey, Aaron, do you know the history of where New Year's resolutions come from?
No, I don't. Where do they come from?
Well, I'm going to give you and the listeners a quick history lesson then. So, New Year's resolutions actually spawn from the ancient Babylonians, and they're said to have been the first people to make New Year's resolutions some 4,000 years ago. They were also the first to hold recorded celebrations in honor of the new year, though for them the year began not in January but in mid March when the crops were planted during a massive 12-day religious festival known as Akitu. The Babylonians crowned a new king or reaffirmed their loyalty to the reigning king. They also made promises to the gods to pay their debts and return any objects they had borrowed. These promises could be considered the forerunners of our New Year's resolutions. If the Babylonians kept to their word, their pagan gods would bestow favor to them, on them for the coming year. If not, they would fall out of the gods' favor, a place no one wanted to be. Now we fast forward to present day. Resolutions almost they don't hold quite the same value. They're not as meaningful to people. You're kind of like a, oh, I did, oh yeah, I have resolutions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's not really taken too seriously.
No. So when you think of New Year's resolutions, where does your mind go?
The old cliche stuff. You know, better physical shape. Uh, focus more
Classic.
on financials. Saving up more, or certain goals to set at the beginning of the year.
The classics. Well, I
The
figured
classics.
I figured since we are well qualified to speak on resolutions, we're basically experts on the topic, we could get some tips for each of the common resolutions that most, I would say people, but more specifically, most dads have come the New Year's. The first one is some tips for health, body, and fitness. What do you got?
Uh, One for me is to find somebody to do it with to hold you accountable. That's a
Ooh,
huge one. You have
that
to have a support system. Maybe you don't have somebody to do it with you, but as long as you have somebody to hold you accountable, you're a lot more likely to stick to your goal.
true, true. For me, there, I this just comes off my previous personal training background from back in college, but find what works for you and do what's comfortable. You might see someone benching or squatting like these huge amounts of weight, but that might not work for you. What works for you is actually doing a round or two on the circuit workout at your gym, and you might get more out of that than opposed to doing all these weight lifts. Or it might be running or swimming or something else that works for you, cycling, whatever it is. Find your thing and do your thing. That's one of my biggest when it comes to your health, body, and fitness.
Yeah, like one main point I like to stress to people is like you don't need a gym to get into shape. You
Mm-hmm.
really don't. It helps, yeah, but you don't. I mean, you can use your body weight to push around, and there's ways to modify certain exercises and stretching and walking, and you don't have to go and run a marathon, the first week of becoming fit. It's just little by little. So
Facts. And that, for me, that brings me to my next one that I, like is to listen to your body. That kind of goes along with my last point, but listen to your body. If you're just not feeling something and you're not feeling any different, listen to your body and don't be afraid to change your routine. Because sometimes, our bodies, there is such thing as muscle memory, you know, and we get so comfortable doing the same things over and over again, our bodies get used to it, so then we lose from that routine. Don't be afraid to change it up. Listen to your body and give your body what it needs to succeed with your personal health and fitness. You got any more for health, body, fitness?
yeah, my last tip is expect to fail. So I don't mean that in the sense of, oh, you can't do it, or oh, you're not going to stick it through. No, you're going to get to a point where you can't do certain things, or you're too sore to do it, or you don't want to do it and you miss a day, or you don't diet one day, or you don't do something. Yeah, you fall off the wagon, but expect that and get back up from it. Just because you break your goal, or you break your commitment to something, doesn't mean you can't get right back on and start doing it again. Expect to break your cycle, and if you do, just get back on whatever you need to do to start your journey again. It's just little steps, one at a time.
Bro, I love that because you can set a goal to hit a certain PR by freaking February 13th. You're going to hit your PR for squats. It comes February 12th, you've been training and you miss your PR. You could be just defeated. You're like, man, I trained so hard for the last 6 weeks and I'm not even at my PR yet. What's the point? I love what you said. I just want to echo that. Don't give up. Get back on the wagon. So what? You missed it. Keep going. Get there. And don't stop trying to get there.
Yeah, man, I have a lot of friends who are into fitness, and let me tell you, it's never a perfect journey. Nobody's ever on their first run around, committed 1000%. That's not how it works.
No,
You learn to love it, you learn to appreciate the process, and you're gonna find yourself wanting to do it more and more. It won't be such a chore.
exactly. You'll get used to it. It'll become part of your routine. It'll become part of your life, and it'll be something that you're just honestly grateful for. I think having a sense of gratitude with it, it's like, man, I'm so grateful that I can do this because there's so many people that can't, you know, and you just have to be grateful for what your body can do as much as it can do when it can do it and not take it for granted.
Yeah, and another thing too, it kind of builds on top of this is, even once you reach your goal, if you find yourself drifting back into your own ways, it's never, too late, or, it's never, you're never in a situation where you can't reach it again. You
Mm-hmm.
can't attain it again. If you get to your goal, you start getting careless, you gain a lot of weight, don't let yourself slip into a funk. Just brush it off and start working again, start chiseling.
Exactly. I love it. All right. How about to improve your relationship with your kids, spouse, friends, and family?
Oh yeah, I'm excited. So this one was one that I worked on very hard last year, and so something that we focused on early in the podcast was active listening. So
Yes.
just being able to hear what your kids and your family, are trying to tell you. It's sometimes it's not as direct as you think. There's a message between lines, or you gotta be able to read the room basically.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah. And one of mine is, listen more. Be quick to listen. Be quick to be like, okay, I'm listening. I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm hearing what you're not saying. Picking up what you're putting down. That was along what I was thinking too. What else you got for here?
Yeah, this one is it's huge. This is one I don't think any parent can go without, and that's sacrifice more. You already sacrifice a lot, but sacrifice more. Sacrifice your trip to the, whatever. That little you time that you get, if you, dedicate that time to doing something with your kid instead of by yourself, you're going to find you create a lot more little moments that you remember.
Exactly. And I don't want the listeners to hear what you're not saying. Definitely
Oh,
have that you time that you need. But if it's extra you time that you're just trying to take and build in and you're kind of on the fence, like, man, I don't really need it for me. I think that's kind of what you're getting at there. Is like,
Yeah,
I could
it's,
go do
if
this, but
it's not going to hurt anything and you really don't need the time alone, find something to do that you can do with your spouse, or, with your kid.
mm-hmm.
Even just taking your kid on a trip to the gas station if you need to gas up, make it a fun thing, listen to goofy songs on the way to the gas station,
Something just those small moments, like you
yeah, just
said.
those little things that the kids can look back on, or your spouse can look back on. It makes a
Yeah,
big difference.
exactly, and that's right along the lines of what I was gonna go with. I was thinking, be more present with your kids, your spouse, your significant other, whatever you want to call it. Your friends, your family, whoever you're around the most when you're not at work. Just be present, be active with them. Find things to do together, find TV shows to watch together, find ways to enjoy food together. Just find things to do together with them that creates those, little memories and those happy moments, those little dopamine hits. All right, I got one more here. My last one here is just to communicate more. It goes back to what you said. Sorry, excuse me. Back toward the top is, being more vulnerable. That comes along with communication and communicating more to make sure that you can communicate those vulnerabilities in the right way. Because sometimes when we're trying to be vulnerable, especially when it's new, it's uncommon to us, we can often express that in angry way when we don't mean to. It comes out wrong or it comes out negatively. when you really meant it to be this thing where it's like, man, I'm really trying to be vulnerable. I didn't mean to for it to come out that way. Just, find the ways to communicate with all these different people in the ways that work for you and for them, because everyone's going to be a little bit different, how they need to be communicated with. You just have to find those ways to communicate and what works for you as well. What else you got for us?
Oh yeah, so my last one on this topic is to just set a goal for who you want to improve your relationship with. So if it's your spouse or, it's for instance like my daughters, like I would set a goal for something that we can do together, something that we can achieve together. You know, accomplishing something by yourself feels great, but when you do it with a team behind you and a team with you, it's so much better, so
Mm-hmm.
it can be something little, like me and my daughter were planning on building a little treehouse in the back, or, maybe I'm planning on, doing something with my wife, it's those little things that, it goes back to being present and, communicating, but at the same time, you're working together and building a relationship in the process of trying to accomplish something. So that's something I'm going to try and do this year, and it's something new that I'm trying.
I love it. All right. This next topic is going to be a little bit more you than me, but nonetheless, I'm going to, we're both qualified experts here, of course. Improve financial situation. This is one that I see a lot of parents and dads especially stressed about coming into the New Year's, is just their overall financial situation. So what, you got a tip or two for this topic here?
Yes, stop eating out.
Yes.
Besides the, Friday dinner out with the family or, Saturday movie with the family, stop eating out, man. Pack your lunch, stop being lazy. Meal prep, it'll help with your first goal of getting fit.
Yep.
It'll save you a ton of money. I
So
can't
much money.
tell you how much money it'll save you. And
So
I don't know
much.
if any of you have been to a fast food restaurant, but it's getting very expensive.
Oof. Rough. Yeah, dude, honestly, and if you don't know where to start for meal preps, guess what? Download the Tickety Talk. Get on Instagram. Get on Facebook. Get on Google. Search high protein, low fat, or high protein meals or fat or whatever your diet goals are. Low carb, low calorie, high protein, whatever it is. Definitely recommend the high protein, low carb route personally, but that's, if you don't know where to start, Google's your best friend. TikTok's your friend here. There's plenty of resources out there. There's dietitians on Facebook that are putting out these meals that can last you a week for $20 for you to have your lunches for the week for $20 kind of thing. It's awesome. And they're actually really good too. You just have to try it. You just have to stop being lazy and do it and make that food. My first one here, kind of along those same lines, is to kind of cut costs where you can. Do you really need that soda pop from Circle K? No. Do you really want it? Yeah. Are you buying one every day for a month? Probably. Do they have a drink subscription or something? Yeah. All right. Well, buy the $6 drink subscription. That's going to save you freaking $25 throughout the month. And it can also help you with other goals. If you were doing 2 a day, now you're down to 1 a day, and you're only paying, cents per day to have that. So, get creative. Find ways that you can cut costs, whether it's subscriptions for drinks or whatever you need to be able to get yourself to that end goal. But yeah, cut costs. Like you said, stop eating out, kind of thing. What else you got?
Yeah. So this one is going to be something I know a lot of people are going to find hard to do, but stop trying to keep up with your neighbors or with the cool guy at work. Like, you
Or
don't
your
need a
ex?
brand new car. Yeah. You don't need, big fancy mansion to live in. No, live within your means.
Yep.
If you can afford it, great, go get it, have fun, enjoy it. But if
Mm-hmm.
it's going to put you into a state where you're living check to check, it's not worth it. You don't need it.
Yeah, no, exactly. Stop trying to compete. Social media. Probably what your friends are posting is just a staged picture with a really nice car or something, or a
Yeah.
vacation that they split with another family at a really nice Airbnb or something.
Yeah, let me tell you, man. Um there is not too much anyone can tell you if your car runs, gets you to work, and doesn't leave you stranded anywhere. If it if it does those three things, I don't care if it has a hole in the side of it. If it, I don't care how bad it looks. If it does those things that you need it to do safely and effectively, you don't need a new car. You don't need the brand new Hellcat, whatever. You don't need to keep up with the trends that are going on.
Exactly, exactly. I kind of touched on this one, between finding ways to save, cut costs where you can. My last one here is make a budget that works for you. There's a lot of different ways for people to budget out there, whether it's, a really popular one is envelope stuffing, where people, get their paycheck in cash and then stuff envelopes for these different things that helps them. Some people put all their monies into their savings account and move things around as they need. Find a system that works for you, stick to it. Make a budget that works for you and live within that budget. Just like you said. All right, what else you got here?
Yeah, so this is gonna go along with your last one. So once you make your budget, you need to find a way that you can improve your credit. So if your credit situation is good and you're out of debt or you're in, very low interest debt, you're not going to be, paying 80, 90% of your salary to bills just to live. If you can have good credit, establish a good financial responsibility, you're gonna find you're way less stressed out. You're not worried about, oh, I gotta pay this, I gotta pay that, or pay off your debts, pay off
Mm-hmm.
your little by little. There's different strategies people use that, you know, 1% of a debt here, 1% of a debt there, or whatever you can afford, fit it into your budget.
Exactly. And then, along with that, build it. If you're at a place where you can
Yeah.
build your credit, find, creative, safe ways for you to do that. I have some friends that their ways that they've built their credit is they'll buy a watch from the jewelry shop, and because that'll report as like a loan on credit, and then they just make payments on that watch. It's a G-Shock watch. So it's not crazy expensive. It's a few $100s,
Yeah. And
but
there's
it's
there's plenty
it's
of
simple.
yeah, there's plenty of different resources. You can get credit builder credit cards
Mm-hmm.
where they're secured. You submit $200 and they give you a $200 line of credit, or whatever you're eligible for. But it's the same thing as your fitness step, right? Or your relationship step with your kids. It's little by little, just
Mm-hmm.
little steps by little steps and planning.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you, 100% there. All right, lastly here, and this one's super important. You know, holidays are tough, they're mentally draining. I'm part of a couple dad's group on Facebook, and all I see just all the time is just, you know, wife says she wanted a divorce, this kid's doing this thing's happening here, this, that, and the other, and just defeat, mental and emotional, just poor health in that aspect. I see it all the time, every day. You see it on people's faces. Men especially wear it differently than others. There's spikes in suicides and all that. There's been some very notable ones in media. Jason David Frank, the Green Ranger. What was that other guy's name? He was like a artist or Dancing with the Stars guy. I can't remember his name, but it's real. It's real for men. So going into the new year, it's super important to improve your mental and emotional health because the holidays are hard. My first tip here, and Evan brought this up, and I love the way he phrased it, and such a great way to phrase it is it ain't weak to speak and talk to someone. find someone you can talk to. It ain't weak to speak. It's going to help you. The world is better with you in it. And yeah, it ain't weak to speak. Find someone to talk to. Talk to someone. What you got?
Yeah, so my first one in this subject is gonna be, keeping your peace. So, you're in control of what you pour your attention into. So, if you know going into a situation that, something's gonna upset you or something's gonna, cause you to get tilted or, whatever is gonna cause you negativity in your life, just don't pour into it. Don't choose to indulge in it. Don't choose to, let it take over you. You're the one that controls your life. Steer around things that are gonna, you know, cause chaos in your life.
Yeah, man, I love that. I love that. I like the way you phrase that there. Steer clear of the things that cause chaos. Steer clear of the storm if you can. Sometimes the storm comes to you and you can't avoid it, but most of the time you can. Or you can at least, put an effort into doing so. My next one here is to find healthy outlets for your energy. There's a lot of times where, especially dads, will always put their families first. Always put their families, their significant others, their kids, their work. They will always put all these things first before them. Ourselves are our last priority. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And you hear probably a lot of your male coworkers who identify as male are often like, oh man, I just wish I had time to go work out. That would help me so much. Or just go throw a ball or go shoot a basketball, or to sit down and just have some time to write in my journal or read a book or whatever it is. Whatever it is for you that's healthy, that's safe, that helps you release that energy, do it. Do it. Build that time in. Communicate that with your spouse and your friends and your family or whoever it needs to be. Or if it's just you and you're a single parent and you have your kids, however much time, give that time to yourself. Make that time for you because you have it. Give it to yourself. Take it back, like you were saying. Take it back from where it is right now to where it's keeping you from giving it to you, and take it back. Take that energy back for yourself. What else you got?
Yeah, so my second point for this topic is gonna go right along those lines, and it's it's just get out and explore. Do things that are outside your normal. When you're busy exploring stuff, you're not worried about your day-to-day life. When you're discovering new things, you're so focused in that you have no time to be stressed. You have no time to worry. When you're outdoors, for me it's outdoors, but for you it could be exploring a new place in town, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is. Just explore new things and get out. Get out of your comfort zone.
I love it. I love it. My last one here. There's plenty. I could talk about this all day. You and I both know that I could talk about this topic all day. But my last one that I'll leave here, before you do your last one, is communicate with those you're close to when you're feeling down. Along the same lines of it ain't weak to speak, but it's more specific. You know, if you're feeling down, there's plenty of people who are gonna listen and offer their support, but it might not feel right to you. But communicate to those you're close to. If you're with your spouse and you're having those feelings, communicate with your spouse. I would never recommend, someone putting that kind of burden on their children. Granted, you're not a burden. Don't hear me there. But I personally wouldn't, unload my, dark intrusive thoughts onto my child unless it, was an adult relationship. They're older. Definitely can see that being a little bit more okay, because they get it more. but definitely not when they're young. But it can be an aunt, an uncle, a brother, a cousin, your best friend, your spouse, whoever. Just communicate to those you're feeling down and ask for that help, ask for that support. Ask for someone to go with you so you can get out and go do something and explore. You know, don't be afraid to communicate with those you're close to when you're feeling down and you need that pick me up and you need that help. It's not weakness, you're not a burden, you're not inhibiting them whatsoever. If you're open, you're honest, and you're transparent with them, saying, "Hey, I'm really going through it right now. Can we go fishing or whatever?" You're here, so I thought of fishing. You said outdoors, so I thought of fishing. So, all right.
Yeah, no, I love that. So, like my last one, it's gonna be right along the same lines, right? It's find your tribe. I don't care if you think you're the most outcast person that has no similarities with anyone. I guarantee you're wrong. You know,
Yeah.
there's so many things in this world that you can like and that other people like as well. So, do the searching. Don't be lazy. Just because it's not in your immediate attention doesn't mean it's not there. Find people that you vibe with that, think similar to you, that will, welcome you, that will, enjoy your company around. You don't have to stay in your same circle. Find your peace and keep it.
Yeah. Yeah. Find that new circle. Like you said, stop being lazy. Do that. Go search Reddit and find a subreddit and spend time on that subreddit if it makes you happy and it helps you because you're talking and communicating with people that are like into that same thing you are. Facebook groups that are along the same lines, whatever it is, there's people out there that also enjoy it. You're not alone. You're not weird for liking antique cuckoo clocks. There's a bunch of people who are weird and like antique cuckoo clocks just like you. So remember that. I love that. We're going to take a last break and we're going to come right back with it with some Would You Rather. Are you toward the end of this podcast and you're just wondering, man, I really want to support these guys. These guys are great. I just want to support them. How can I support them? The show is 100% free. We hope to always keep it 100% free. We try to give you guys great products and brands that we work with. One of the best ways that you can support this podcast, subscribe to us on YouTube at Young Dad Pod. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter at Young Dad Pod. Facebook, Ballboy Media. Subscribe to the website, ballboymedia.com. Those are some of the best ways to support us. If you need any of those links to get to any of those places, the link tree is always in the show notes on every platform for you to quickly click over and to find us wherever you get your podcasts and wherever you get your social medias. Follow us there, support us there, share it with a friend. Those are the best ways that you can support us. And yeah, enjoy the rest of the show. I don't know about you, but I am feeling ready to tackle this new year. Now, after all those tips and tricks, I hope our listeners are also ready to tackle all these challenges and resolutions that they might have with the newfound light and hope and fire to get after it. Because I know I am. All right, Aaron, it's Would You Rather? Would You Rather returns for episode 12. This is episode 12. Hit me with a Would You Rather.
All right, son, we're going to do a very simple one. Are you ready?
Oh, I get to start out easy. Okay.
Would you rather lose a leg or an arm?
Oh. Okay, which leg and which arm is it?
It's up to you. You can choose.
Well, the thing is, I'm ambidextrous, so I can't really say I can lose either arm or either leg because I use all four limbs pretty equally. So I'd be screwed out of all the above.
Arm or leg, bud? Arm or
Man,
leg?
this sucks. I'm gonna take arm. I'm gonna take right arm.
You chose the wrong one, buddy.
How is that wrong?
So the prosthetics are so much better for a leg,
Oh,
dude.
I forgot I could get a
There's people that
prosthetic.
run marathons that have no
No.
legs, that have 2 prosthetic legs.
Dude, I forgot I could get a prosthetic. I could get a prosthetic arm.
Yeah, but they're not as good as prosthetic legs for
I could have
sure.
a hook. I could have a hook for a hand, like
No, you
screw on the hook
can't
and
because
stuff.
you just have like a nub on your shoulder because you don't have an arm.
Yeah, but they can still create like a gadget. I still have a shoulder, so they can still make something out of that.
Oh, I guess.
Wouldn't be as good as a leg, but they can still do something with it. All right. Well, you can have an arm, you can have a leg, and I'm gonna have an arm. That's fine. All right. Would you rather go without shampoo for the rest of your life or toothpaste for the rest of your life?
Oh, shampoo 100%. I don't even have to
Yeah,
think about that.
that's the correct answer. 100% shampoo. I don't know, but think about like in the wintertime when your hair gets all dry and stuff, greasy.
Shameless plug. Hit our Manscaped. They have a shampoo that will change your life. It's so good.
Hashtag not a sponsor yet. Hopefully someday. Manscaped does have a great shampoo. Dr. Squatch also has a great shampoo as well. That's what I use. I love my Dr. Squatch products. Also, if you're struggling with like hair growth, you know that charcoal, this is off topic, but charcoal soap can help like reopen those pores.
I didn't know that.
No, you know what I'm doing? I'm going without shampoo and I'm going bald for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you could do that, but then your head's still dirty.
But I can wash it with water. I can still shower and get it clean. Plus shaving cream, that'll clean it.
Well, I mean,
When I
you
shave
said
it.
shampoo. You can still use soap.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
I guess. I don't know.
All right, what's your next one? Hit me again.
All right, so this one's you're losing something as well. So, would you rather lose your sense of smell
Ooh.
or your sense of taste for the rest of your life?
Oh man.
This one was very hard for me because I love to cook. So, smell and taste are both very important.
Nope, I got this one. I'm gonna go taste, and here's the reason why. I don't like vegetables, but if I can't taste vegetables now,
Oh my-
I will eat all my vegetables all the time. Shameless here. Shameless confession.
Yeah. So for all of our podcast viewers, Jewel has the appetite of a 5-year-old. He doesn't eat vegetables.
It's
He's
true.
afraid of them. Deathly afraid.
Like, you know what I ate tonight? I had a burrito bowl, but it had rice, beans, corn, and chicken. And corn was my vegetable.
Yeah, dude. That should be one of your goals for 23.
No,
You gotta diversify your palate.
no, maybe 2027 plus.
All right. So for that subject, I'm gonna have to go taste as well.
Yeah.
Just because the smells, like certain smells that I love, like a bakery early in the morning or like an Italian restaurant
Ooh,
right at dinner time. Like it's
yeah.
just so, or like a smell of wine, over that dinner.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
icing on the cake, dude. Icing on
Yes.
the cake.
Yes, queen. Yes, queen. Yeah, I would rather be able to eat vegetables and be healthier and not taste them and trade that for smelling poop still.
Oh, yeah. See, when you bring that up, it's a double-edged sword.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll be healthier. My next one for you is: would you rather wear a constantly changing outfit or have a constantly changing hairstyle? Neither of these you can control when or what happens next with these outfits. So you could go from bald with a nice tight little red dress to a yellow polka dot bikini with long luscious Rapunzel hair, or
Oh
anywhere on the
man.
spectrum between color, style, cut, everything. And your outfit changes whenever, wherever. You never know when it's going to change. You could be in a meeting, giving a presentation, and boom, yellow polka dot bikini, but you have your hair still. Or you're in that same meeting, you keep your outfit, but your hair is changing randomly.
I'm gonna say hairstyle, because I mean you can. I mean they're both pretty bad. But my hairstyle, I think. I mean, there's some certain hairstyles I would love to have, so I might randomly roll them one day. But that's the only
Yeah,
positive I can see in this.
I'm going hairstyle just because I want the hair. My hair's thinning out a little bit, so I'm gonna go hair. Shameless again.
Shameless plug for Hims.
For
For Hims.
you know, I
Not a
actually
sponsor
looked,
yet, but
not a sponsor. I've looked into that. If anyone from Hims is listening, we have like a pretty solid, like almost 200-person audience. There has to be someone like that has used Hims or would recommend it or knows someone there. Like, I would not be mad like if Hims was like, "Yo, we will sponsor your podcast and also give you Jay product to regrow your hair." I'd be like, "Freaking, let's go, let's go." Shameless, shameless. I think that's going to be the motto of 2023. Shameless.
yeah,
All right,
we're doing away with our egos this year, man.
shameless New Year.
Shameless.
All right, what? Give me your last one, please.
Oh, I only had two, but I'm pretty sure I can come up with one. Okay, here, I already have a good one.
No, okay.
Are you ready?
No, it's you.
Would you rather be able to fly or to teleport anywhere you want instantly?
Fly or teleport? Teleport. Because like my brain is so all over the place, like all the time, where it's like, oh, I need to go do that. Oh, I need to be here. Oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to do that. Oh, I need to do that. Where it's like if I could teleport to do those things, but I would still probably get there and be like, why am I here? Like look
Yeah, dude,
around real slowly.
I gotta have to disagree with you. I have to,
Mm,
because you know how badass you would look flying everywhere you go,
mm,
and it's just as fast, like you're Superman.
no, you can teleport.
Yeah, dude, but nobody sees you. You know what I mean? You're
That's
not.
fine. I don't like being
You know
seen
what I
by
mean?
people anyway.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. There's just something about flying. Imagine you can go pick up your daughter from school and fly away.
Yeah, imagine you can just be there when you're running late and you're like, oh yeah, teleport. Bam. No school call now.
You don't have to worry about running late if you can fly over everybody.
But this is also, you're also asking the guy who would rather stay home than leave to do literally anything. Do you think I want to be seen by all those people flying, or you think I just want to lay low and just like teleport, to the grocery store, grab my groceries, teleport
Yeah,
out,
I guess
you
you're
know?
right. You're right. You're right.
Gotta think of, read the room. Read the room. All right, my last one here. Would you rather be trapped in a romantic comedy with your enemies or trapped in a horror movie with your friends?
Oh, horror movie with my friends for sure, dude. It'd become a horror comedy. Yeah, that's 100%.
Ah, man. See,
Yeah, rom-com with my enemies, I don't think that would ever work.
well, that's the point of romantic comedies. You have the protagonist and antagonist, and then they,
So would
find
I
their way back
fall in
to each
love with
other.
would I fall in love with my enemy?
I think you would, like in a
I don't know,
romantic,
man.
like comedy kind of way.
I don't know.
Granted, this is an alternate universe where you don't currently have your wife. Just a
No,
caveat.
I still wouldn't do it.
I think I would do. I would
I
do
think a
romantic
horror
comedy
horror
with my
movie
enemies.
with my friends would be a lot more fun.
No, I don't want to die.
Well, because you see, you're insinuating you're gonna die in a horror
Well,
movie. Horror movies aren't all about dying.
I'm gonna have some serious PTSD and some trauma. But no, think of the romantic comedy. Like usually they go and like do stuff like sporting events and cool fun stuff, and all these things happen, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
go rom
am
com.
good.
I'm gonna go rom com because you guys are gonna end up besties by the end of it anyway. So just enjoy
I
the ride.
guess. One less enemy.
And then the horror movie, you're either dying or you're going to be traumatized for life. So, I mean, it's your choice. And your friends are going to die.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Bruh, they're dying. They're dying. Anyways, listeners, let us know in the comments of the show where you're at on all these. These are pretty solid. I mean, obviously, I'm right on all my takes, and Aaron's wrong. That's just how it goes. Aaron, what did you learn today?
That there is no excuse for no matter what your New Year's resolution is. There's no excuse. We have such good technology in our hands. There's no kind of excuse that you can make about any of your New Year's resolutions. For every reason that you say you can't, there's a reason that says you can.
Facts. For me, I would say, stop making excuses. Kind of what you just said, but how you said it is stop making excuses and stop being lazy. Stop being lazy. Just do it. Take that first step. It's not going to be a lot better for you if you just take that first step than if you never did. It might seem hard, might seem crazy, might seem impossible, but take that first step. It'll work out for you. And that's the show. That's the show. Can you believe it? That's our first show of 2023. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. We are so excited. We have an amazing couple months of shows planned. We have some amazing guests. We have Eric, the peanut guy from the Tri-Cities Dust Devils, coming on. We have other guests from across different platforms, different areas of dadding, and there's so much fun stuff planned for this year. We are so excited. We may even be entering into some, podcast competitions, if everything goes well. And this is kind of me telling Aaron that we're doing as well. So we thank you guys. We thank you guys for all you do. If you're on Apple or Spotify, make sure you leave that 5 stars. If you're on Apple, go ahead and leave us a comment, a review, so we can read yours on the next show. Until next time, everyone take care. Have a happy and safe first week of the New Year's. And we'll be back with you next week with Eric, the Peanut Guy.
Later, people.